It's a great opportunity for prospective student athletes entering grades 3 through 12 to see what Vimy and Donnan have to offer. Visit vimyridge.epsb.ca or donnan.epsb.ca for more info and to sign up.
Performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
You haven't set your lineup yet, right? It's Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
It's 11:02. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, and Josh Fenwick with you here from the Sports 1440 studios in West Edmonton Mall. Game day edition of this show. Of course, the Oilers out in Winnipeg looking to bounce back after the disappointing loss Saturday night against the Flames, taking on the Jets. Puck drop 5:30-ish. Pregame coverage with Andrew Walker, Gregor, myself, Landon Ferraro will get going at 4:30 right here on Sports 1440. Of course, Fantasy Frenzy is brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. Go pay him a visit, only available in Leduc. And you can always reach us, 1-833-401-1440, or via the email, Connor at sports1440.ca, Brandon at sports1440.ca. Of course, fantasy football playoffs, for most people, wrapping up this week. I know some people play in different variations of their leagues, but this weekend, holy cow, Duke, I got some stories for you. It's not, it's just like a mass disappointment, but how are you doing? How was your little Christmas break?
It was very good. Thank you. I enjoyed a couple days off, was back at the farm for a couple of them, spending some time with the family, nieces and nephews, did some tobogganing.
Oh,
my body feeling the price of that, the days that ensued, but feeling all right here back at it on a Monday morning. Looking forward to getting back in the swing of things.
What was your, choice of transportation growing up when tobogganing?
Well, see, for me, if we were like doing it at the schoolyard or something, it was just a crazy carpet because that was the easiest, and they had a bin full of them at the door out the entrance of the elementary playground. GT racers were awesome. We did the calf sled, which is something maybe only a certain part of our listenership are familiar with. It's just a very heavy duty type looking toboggan, and we would always be pulling them behind the ATV.
Oh,
right.
Extreme.
Maybe even a snowmobile. But if it's just downhill, then yeah, GT racer, like a crazy carpet.
Nice. And fantasy football playoffs, what was your situation this weekend?
I was in 2 third place games. I'm going into Monday Night Football with a slim chance of winning each of them respectively. Had some good performances, had some letdowns, as is the usual, but yeah, third place, it is what it is. I don't think there's any money for third place in either of these leagues. Maybe entry fee back in the one, but I don't think so.
My one league final, it might be one of the most hilarious finals of all time. Like, I was down a few big names. The Kittle and Devontae Adams, with them both playing like Sunday night, kind of forced my hand. How about this for a genius move? I go pick up Colston Loveland, put him on the bench for Waller, who had 0 points. Loveland had 15. My first touchdown of the day and only touchdown before 7 p.m. was the New Orleans Saints defense.
Wow. Wow.
But then I had DeAndre Swift.
Good game.
Couple touchdowns. Put me up. So right now I'm up by 29 points. Non-PPR, he's got Puka Nacua. So I'm 75% chance favorite to win. But that means nothing because Puka Nacua can go off. My opposing team, my good friend Bobby, Alec Pierce, nothing. Sam Darnold, 7 points. Thank you to Mother Nature out in Buffalo, Orchard Park specifically. Devontae Smith, 2.5. Saquon Barkley, 6.8. Jalen Warren, 6.4. Dalton Schultz, 1.9. Shout out to that Chargers defense who woke up after the first 5 minutes of the game. I got a shot, Duke. I got a shot at this league. In this league, I famously lost when the unfortunate happened with Damar Hamlin. I had Joe Burrow in that game. Marched down the field, scored an easy touchdown, and then the game was obviously canceled for good reason. It was a terrible accident. But for my fantasy purposes in this league, it cost me the title. So this is my chance at redemption. Same opponent and everything. So hopefully Puka Nacua has an okay game for those who need him, but doesn't go absolutely crazy like he did last week, because that would be pretty devastating for me, Duke. We should talk. I think I don't know if we officially agreed on the terms, but I think I owe you lunch after the Texans win on Saturday.
Those are the unofficial terms. So listen, I'm not going to put you on the hook for a night out at the keg or something like that. But just something easy. It's friendly wager. I made my other friend Brant. He's a big Chargers fan as well. I'm planning on hanging out with him and some others on New Year's Eve. So for us, it was a New Year's Eve shotgun on the line for the game.
That's it.
I don't like shotgunning, so that would be neither do I.
Me.
So neither Brant nor myself do. So that actually does carry some weight, even if it doesn't seem like very much. Neither of us enjoy shotgunning drinks. So I'm looking forward to getting to see that. Big win. Texans needed it. I was hoping that Old Man Rivers could get the job done yesterday and give the Texans an inside track on the division, but now I'll just need a little help from the other division foes, the Titans, in Week 18.
Which probably won't happen.
No, probably not.
Not very good.
No.
I went to a family get-together after that game, and my people are like, oh, how you doing after that loss? And I was like, honestly, not that bad. Like, I mean, obviously, Gadsden has to catch the ball. Or just drop it. Don't tip drill it straight up in the air on the 1 yard line.
Mm-hmm.
Offensive line was awful.
Mm-hmm.
The defense didn't wake up for a couple minutes. And then your kicker left 4 points on the board. Now, with that being said, dude, Texans had the ball at the end of the game, could have kicked the game-winning field goal, right? So the 4 points, might have mattered, might not have. But it was a pretty good game. I don't know how you felt about it. Like, the start could not have been any better. No. Chargers secondary just forgot what C.J. Stroud did to them in the playoffs, I think.
Yeah, you and I were texting a little bit throughout the game, and like it was a perfect start for my Texans. They scored on the first couple drives in very short order. Turns out they needed it because they didn't put up many more points the rest of the game. But in very typical Texans fashion this season, it was the defense that was kind of the much larger star of the show, despite Justin Herbert's best efforts to be superhuman and will the team to victory. You get sacked that many times and get, harassed, make life difficult on a really good player. They accomplished that with the front. The secondary did its job. And you beat a good team, right? And the offense looked much more like the same one we saw the first half of this season after those first two drives. But keep in mind the Texans are the Chargers, are top 10 defense in their own right. So it was a tough opponent. You get the win, not pretty the whole way through, but you give yourself a chance at the division still, and you lock up a playoff spot in the process.
With this, I've seen a lot of people, a lot of Broncos fans saying, hey, Drew Lock, sorry.
Drew Lock.
Bo Nix, 1 division title. Justin Herbert, none. And I say, give him 65 mil. Give Bo Nix $65 million. He deserves it. He is that damn good. He did it. Pay that man. Lance texted in saying, hey, we did it. Raiders, first overall pick. Is that officially locked in now, Duke? Because the Giants would have the head-to-head like tiebreaker for the better spot.
if you want to call it that. But like,
how about the Jets or the Titans?
If that's what I mean, if the Raiders or the Cardinals
even,
if the Raiders were to win next week, I'm not sure how the rest of that shakes down. And I'll be very honest with you, Connor. I'm not sure I care to. Maybe here in the first commercial break, I'll do a little playoff simulator action.
The Raiders next week get the Chiefs. In very cheap. Oh my! Like, did anyone watch that game?
The Christmas game?
Well, the Giants and the Raiders.
Oh no! No, God no.
Good on the Giants for getting a win. I guess it was so funny to see both teams just essentially scratch their lineup. But the Chiefs, like, this is going to be a Skeletor team of the Kansas City Chiefs, and I assume the Raiders will be the same way. Obviously, we know they shut down their 2 best players. Ashton Genty just out there by himself trying to get the job done. But yeah, for the first overall pick, it looks like these teams have it. And, you know, good news for the Raiders, even if they were to, like, the Giants don't need a quarterback. Titans wouldn't take a quarterback. Jets definitely could take a quarterback. That would be a good spot to do it. But I think there's probably 2 guys, and the Raiders, with that loss, are going to get one of them, unless somebody jumps in front with a bit of a trade. Beerman said, LOL. You just announced the Oilers playing from Winnipeg. The holidays have mixed me up. Thought the game was in Edmonton. Brought my gear to my daytime job, convinced I work tonight. Thanks for saving me the embarrassing trip to Rogers from Beerman. Hey, trying to help you out here, Beerman. It is, yes, a 5:30 start from Winnipeg. I'm not going to be in town tonight. I believe the New Year's Eve game is back in Edmonton, but not for this one. We've also got Lance saying he did watch that game. Duke, what did you think of the Oilers' performance on Saturday night against the Calgary Flames? It left a little bit to be desired. Too much turkey, perhaps. That's usually the excuse.
Yeah, maybe. I didn't think the Oilers played poorly, but it was just like moments of lapses, and the Flames were clearly up for this game, right? I thought that was the most evident portion of it, is that they took that Tuesday night beatdown to heart pretty substantially and came back with a much better effort on home ice for the Hockey Night in Canada tilt. So Dustin Wolf played very well again. I mean, he is that guy. He can steal games. He can win them. I don't know. Like, do we expect the Oilers to win every game? Well, no, it's unrealistic. But I do think there was maybe a little bit of higher hopes to string a couple together over, especially the way they beat them on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So, but I kind of stick on it. Like, I didn't think the Oilers were terrible. I just thought the Flames were maybe closer to the best version of themselves. And as a result, home ice advantage, all those factors, however you want to peg them in order, able to get a victory.
Yeah. I mean, like, for the Oilers, you just think the game plan's there. Just try to go out there and have a repeat performance. Flames showing a little bit of a pushback. Did you see Adam Klapka before the game?
A little center ice dance.
Yeah.
Not just Kapka. There's a few different players they highlighted during the broadcast that the Flames were clearly making an MO that they were going to try and drag the Oilers into that style of game again and engage in the physical elements, the after the whistle stuff, the shenanigans, and to an extent it worked, right? I mean, Klapka, the nice finish on the one goal play, like he was, for a fourth line player, he was very effective, and the same cannot be said about the Oilers' fourth line players or even the bottom 6 on aggregate, really.
I saw it, and I saw some Flames fans that I know, like, oh, Oilers not even responding to this. I was just like, he's 6'8", 235. And
he's
it's
a big man.
And it's December. Like, I don't think the Oilers give a damn if you skate 2 feet across the red line. Maybe in years past, maybe like Corey Perry or Vander Kane might have had something to say about that. But this year's team, I was just like, I don't think they care right now. Maybe they should have. Maybe it would have woken them up a little bit and a little bit of a better performance. Brad says Ingram has looked good, steady and calm. Yeah, hard to disagree with that one. Like, he was getting outshot big time on Saturday, and he did his job. And that was the first loss with the duo of Ingram and Tristan Jarry. And if you can get performances like that, and the offensive side of things wakes up a little bit, it might be okay. 1-833-401-1440. That is the text line. Of course, you can always watch us on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Lance, you're everywhere, man. Also in the chat on YouTube saying, feeling great. Raiders getting their franchise QB. Do we know who the number 1 overall pick is? Is it Mendoza, Duke? Like, are we set on that one?
I don't know if we're set. I think that the remainder of the college football playoffs might have something to say about it.
What an opportunity for him, though.
Like if he goes out there and acquits himself as well as he has all year in these bigger moments, then I think that it's a combination of, all right, the results are there. He's clearly the straw that stirs the drink in his offense, and you get that thing that everybody seems to care about so much, right? He's a winner. He has a Heisman Trophy to his credit. He's got the number 1 seed, and now he's got a chance to, quiet down some more naysayers. And I would put myself amongst them. They say, all right, yeah, this is a great season for Indiana. Do they have what it takes now in a playoff spot to beat some more tried and tested programs, no matter where they meet them in the bracket? Georgia, Alabama, even a place like a school like Oregon, right? So there's still some things to be determined. I think Dante Moore could make a case for as the top quarterback or first quarterback off the board, but I think Mendoza has the inside track on it at this point.
Yeah, I mean, and one thing you can't teach is size. 6'5", 225. Like, that's a prototypical quarterback size in the NFL. So teams will like that. The ability to, see over your offensive lineman goes a long way. And you have that big guy that's tough to take down. I just scrolling through, Aaron Wilson from CBS Sports had a calm, efficient style, reminiscent of Jared Goff, who was also a number 1 overall pick.
But he was like a no-doubter.
Who was it in his class? Do you remember?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was Carson Wentz the second quarterback picked?
It was 2016. And it was. Good memory.
Because I obviously the timeline stuff lines up, but then also I vaguely remember some sort of like feature on Carson Wentz because he was taken out of a FBS school, right?
North Dakota State.
Out of NDSU. So that compared to Jared Goff, the Cal guy, Cali quarterback, everything fit the mold. And everyone's like, I don't know, this Carson Wentz guy might be it. And then started really well with the Eagles, obviously. But since has not quite been able to duplicate that.
Since that knee injury. Yeah, just couldn't quite get there. But yeah, Goff, Wentz, Joey Bosa, Ezekiel Elliott, Jalen Ramsey, Ronnie Staley, DeForest Buckner. Pro Bowlers with the top end of that draft. Some good picks. Hey, Laramie Tunzel. That was the
gas mask
drama. Yeah, that rubbed some people the wrong way, but very interesting. We'll see. I'm looking forward to it. I always get fired up for the NFL draft. That's well documented, Duke. I know you're the same way. So we'll be watching these college football bowl games very closely to see how he looks, and then throughout the pro days and the combine and all that sort of thing. Randall says, I know it's only December, but it's hard to call these games Battle of Alberta nowadays. You don't need to play Trekland every game, but it's bleeping Calgary. These games the Oilers should get up for. Everyone played okay, but Flames should always get our best effort.
I won't disagree with that.
Yeah. Do the players care? Like,
the Flames players clearly did.
They absolutely. Do the Oilers care as much? Like, I don't know.
But why don't they? Why wouldn't?
Well, and to me,
is it just a game on the schedule?
Yeah, I don't think to me that should matter. It should just be better because you're a better hockey team than that. Like, at least look a little bit better. I don't know. Who sparked the rivalry? Like, when we thought we were going to have a rivalry, like Matthew Tkachuk was kind of the centerpiece, right? He's gone. I don't know. I don't think we've seen that sort of rivalry. Like, if you had to give me rivalries, and I know for us living in Edmonton, we've seen this forever. Like, there's that disdain for the city of Calgary, and they have it right back in Edmonton. So they're always, for the fans, it's going to be there. But I don't know if the players look at it that way. I think the Florida Panthers could consider a rival. Vegas, for sure. They've seen Dallas the last couple of years, but made kind of quick work of them. Maybe the LA Kings, but I just, if the Calgary Flames kept that team together and we got back-to-back-to-back like playoff series, I think maybe we get a little bit more. But just with the NHL schedule this year, is it 3 times you see the Flames this year? Like,
they'll play once more yet. Yeah. 3 already.
I'm not sure. And, the Flames had that kind of probably were ticked off after the way the last game went, so they got a little bit more up for it. I could be way off. But.
So I guess then does it just flip-flop? Because start of the season, the Flames beat the Oilers. Bit of a surprise, obviously, the shootout result. They come back a couple months later, lay a beat on them earlier this last week. Like, he's kind of looking at like almost a bit of a rubber match here, because come February 4th, just before the Olympic break, are these two teams going to be in drastically different spots? Like, are the Flames already in sell-off mode at that point? The Oilers gearing up for some pre-deadline, pre-Olympic adds to their roster. We don't know. It's all hypothetical and speculative, but like Saturday night, hockey night in Canada, marquee matchup. Maybe this is just the hockey fan in me speaking, as opposed to a more objective viewpoint. Like, that seems like the spot that if you're the Oilers, like, that is a reason to get up, as opposed to just another regular season game. You're scrounging for points in a crowded Pacific Division and Western Conference playoff picture. Those all matter too. But the fact it's against your in-province rivals, I do think that should carry some more weight to the players.
I don't disagree with you. I just don't know if it does.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, well, I think watching the game on Saturday, it clearly doesn't.
Dean said the Florida teams don't struggle to get up for each other. I think if the Oilers had a bottom six with any pulse, they get up for games easier. Well, and I would say these Florida teams have won how many of the Stanley Cups the last few years? They meet in the playoffs. More so, they're both really good teams fighting for it. So, like, maybe there's more to it. You should get up for the good teams. But I don't disagree with you, Dean, about the bottom six. Yeah.
Well, then, like, what? And I get it. This is from a fever dream of the version of the Oilers most fans don't want to recall. But like, you talk about teams that you've played in the playoffs the last couple of years, or the other best teams in your conference. The Oilers haven't really showed up for those games this year either, right? And it's obviously the game against Dallas looms very large in memory. But then going back to Colorado, they beat Vegas obviously a week ago in pretty convincing fashion. So. Minus the third period.
Maybe, I guess. 4-3 final.
Third period notwithstanding, perhaps. But yeah, I don't know. It's December. It's a long season. It's a super condensed schedule this year. Maybe I'm willing to give a little more leeway on, quote unquote, taking a night off here right after the Christmas break.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we'll see how they bounce back tonight.
I think will be a big test for sure.
Struggling Winnipeg Jets, still missing their boy between the pipes. We'll take a break. When we come back, more text here, 1-833-401-1440. It is Fantasy Frenzy, brought to you by Wilhock Beef Jerky.
I'm Colin Livingston, president of Cantork. Cantork has always been a forward-thinking company, but now that we've turned 25, I can't help but take a minute to take a look back. Thank you to everyone that's been with us along the way.
Excavators, loaders, lifts, compaction equipment, and more. Find the XCMG construction equipment you need. Available for rental or sale at Japa Machinery Group. Japa, helping build Alberta from the ground up for 50 years. Visit japamachinery.com.
At Papa John's, our butter chicken pizza is a Canadian favorite, and we think we know why. We start with a velvety, tangy, and subtly sweet sauce. Then it's our better ingredients: fresh, never frozen original dough, juicy grilled chicken, and crunchy green peppers and onions. Sounds delicious, right? Well, wait till you try it. It's butter chicken made better. Order your large butter chicken pizza today for only $19.99. Better ingredients, better pizza, Papa John's. Proudly locally owned and operated.
Welcome 2026 with a bang at Rogers Place. It's the Oil Kings New Year's Day fireworks frenzy.
Your Edmonton Oil Kings look to take down their arch rivals, the Red Deer Rebels.
It's a special 2 p.m. New Year's Day puck drop featuring a spectacular on-ice fireworks display after the game.
Plus, score Kelmont Kids food combos for $10 or less. The value is king-sized.
Oil Kings fireworks frenzy, Thursday at 2. Great seats at Rogers Place start at only $20.
Save on day of game pricing now at oilkings.ca.
When picking a New Year's resolution, try to avoid things you have no influence over.
Like bringing home the cup? That would be awesome.
But completely outside your control. Instead, pick something you can control, like bringing home some Wilhock beef jerky.
That would also be awesome. But what if we brought the cup home to Canada and it was filled with Wilhock beef jerky?
Okay, I'll allow it.
Wilhock beef jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win cups with salad.
Get the lowdown with Low Tide. Weekdays from noon to 2 on Sports 1440. He's seen it all and then some. From stats to stories, he breaks it down like no one else.
proud to be Edmonton's sports leader. Sports 1440.
Planning your next event? Let Loca Quality Market cater. From made-to-order meals to gourmet platters to full chef tasting experiences, they make entertaining effortless. Visit loca.ca to start planning today.
Who should start? Who needs to hit the bench? Find out with Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas. This is Sports 1440.
Presented by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:25. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you. Show brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at willhawkbeefjerky.com. Go check them out. Only available in Leduc. The text line is 1-833-401-1440. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, hit that like button. We'd appreciate that. You can always give us a subscription as well. Sports 1440 AM on YouTube. Quickly, Duke. Did you say you went to the mall on Boxing Day? The West Edmonton Mall?
It's true. I'm so
What were you thinking?
I really don't know. I'm going to blame the lack of blood in my system because I had just donated. And I was like, oh, I need to get something. And I was thinking about like this was the most convenient location without taking into a factor the traffic, the parking, the absolute zoo. I did not even find a parking spot. No joke. I was just like cruising around in the bottom level and eventually just kind of pulled in. Somebody else was also parked in a spot that was not a spot, kind of like under the stairs, basically. Weird. Anyway, I just like pulled in behind it. I was like, I'm going to be in and out in 5 minutes. I just threw the hazards on, sprinted in, got what I needed, came back out and hopped back in the truck. And the whole process took me probably to get in, out, and then back headed south on 178 to the White Mud. It was probably an hour.
Wow.
Not worth it.
Would you say what did you need?
I had to make a little stop at a store just below us here in the mall.
Okay. I needed it.
There's
so many locations you could have gone to.
Yeah, I thought about that after the fact, but listen, not my best moment. Like I just donated blood. Got me some slack.
You were weak.
I was weak. I was drained.
Shout out to you for donating blood. We were in the vicinity just because my parents live over in La Pearl, and we couldn't get in. Had to use all my West End knowledge to find a way
navigate.
In.
Hey,
people were going through La Pearl, Belmead, and Aldergrove trying to get shortcuts.
Yeah, sure they were. I witnessed it in my leaving because I was thinking about doing it myself. This little jet right across the street from our exit at this part of the parkade on the west side of the mall. And I was like, no, there's it's already backed up in there even too, because people are doing. And you know what? My biggest, fed up Friday on a Monday, just the lack of general courtesy. When there's a million people, you're all trying to accomplish the same thing in one way or the other, whether it be finding a parking spot, getting out of a spot, getting into the mall, leaving the mall. Just the tiniest amount of courtesy, be like, oh, you've been sitting there trying to get out of this lane of the parkade for 20 minutes. Just let them in front of you. Just pull up, let that person come out. I just don't get it. And because I saw it, I experienced it. I was on the other side of it. I let some people in. It's just so frustrating. The Christmas season, all the holiday spirit, next day, forget it. Yeah. It's over. Dog eat dog world.
That's unfortunately true. It is unfortunately true. Hey, I saw it yesterday. Just letting people in and not even getting that wave. 2 occasions.
Oh, so frustrating.
But hey, that's what people do. Almost got hit in the Tim's parking lot this morning as well. Not even a courtesy wave. Oh, well. I don't think you guys heard that. Let's turn Josh's mic. Josh, you got hit by a car yesterday?
Yeah.
Just your person or your car?
I was in my car and my car got hit. I came here to do some stuff really quickly. And then I was leaving. I was talking to my buddy on the phone, and you know the little turnout at the bottom of our. So
hands free when you were talking to him.
Yeah, hands free on speaker. You know,
good.
And so sitting there, and like I'm waiting for the light to go, and this guy in a Ford Escape is moving. And he gets mighty close, and he stops. And I look at him like, "What are you doing?" And then he still is trying to turn, and at about 2 kilometers an hour, he hits the front of my car. I'm like, dude, what the? Like, I just turn and look at him. I give him the shrug, like, what are you doing? And then he backed up and started rolling down the window, and I wasn't getting out of my car for a 2 kilometer an hour hit, you know? So I pointed at the front of my car and I said, "Good?" He went, "Yeah." "All right, cool." Went home.
Not
looked
your
at the front of
Jaguar,
my car.
though, right?
Pardon me?
Not your Jaguar.
No, not my Jaguar, unfortunately. But yeah, got home. Everything looked great. He just crunched some ice off of my car. But I was like, what are we doing here? Like, it's okay. I get it. Like, he was trying to go right and I was trying to go left, and I had room in the zipper. He just went forward instead of turn.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just relax.
People, I know where you're talking about. The people, sometimes they just don't oblige by the signs. They don't matter anymore. Well, I'm glad your car's okay. Glad you're okay.
Me too.
Glad
I sort of need that thing.
Yeah, it's
necessary to my
transportation.
life.
It truly is. This segment brought to you by elksnation.ca, 2-weekly podcast with Eddie Steele and Declan Kruger, breaking down the green and gold. Of course, the most in-depth WE football coverage you will find on the internet. Check it out, elksnation.ca, or wherever you get your podcast from. Jay and Victoria, we touched on this quickly. He said, I missed the game Saturday. Saw Calgary crossing center during warmups, and Work McDavid need a little bit of toughness. We are soft. Jay and Victoria. This was a trend all last year as well, and there was just one guy who would step up, and it was Corey Perry. And they were missing Evander Kane throughout the regular season, so obviously he wasn't going to do it. The skating over the red line, like, I totally get it. Like, it'd be nice to have someone kind of skate side by side and have that conversation.
Bump shoulders with them.
Yeah.
No refs on the ice in warmups.
But I don't think, like, I would imagine some of the Oilers' top end talent sees that and just laughs. Like, whatever, man. It's December.
It's like, what do you think this is? Midget hockey? Like,
we've been to 2 straight Stanley Cup finals, haven't won. But, you know, like, we're not worried about this guy doing this sort of thing.
But then you go out there and the game starts and you're clearly outplayed by an inferior opponent. So is there something to it, right? Like, it's the age-old question. Does stuff like that matter?
And if you're not getting up for that little thing, how are you going to get up for it in the game? I mean, I would like to see a little more toughness on this team. As soon as Evander Kane was traded, you can go back in the Jar show. I was not thrilled about it. I got it, but I didn't like it.
It's like a move like that when you let a guy like Corey Perry walk in free agency. I get it. The price point that he ended up commanding with the Kings, not what the Oilers were willing to pay for a player at his age at this stage of his career. You trade Evander Kane. Okay. Well, there's a pretty obvious absence in this lineup now. And there was nothing else done to fill it. Like, I'm okay with moving players out, but if they're role players, those roles need filled. And if you look at where the Oilers are at now in their forward group, they, like, at the start of the season, we're talking about, like, there are so many bodies here. And it's good for competition-wise to try and earn some spots in the bottom 6, looks in the top 6 alongside 2 of the world's best players, all those things. Then you add Jack Roslovic. It's like, oh my God, another body to free, which surprised me at the time. Well, now where are we at? David Tomaszek has left. He's going to head back to play in the Swedish league. Noah Philp put on waivers. Trent Frederick can seemingly not do anything productive at any element of the game. Matthias Janmark, people want him sitting in the press box. Andrew Mangiapane, according to Elliot Friedman on 32 Thoughts, maybe exploring a trade option to move him out. And all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, we had how many forwards here at the start of the year? And you're telling me that none of them really worked? With the exception of Roslovic, really.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a little confusing. But if there's one silver lining to it, it's like the Oilers' top players are playing at a very, very top level. So they're kind of picking up the slack in the meantime. You can't hope for that to last forever. Even the best players hit lulls and slow parts of their performance. That's when you need these other guys to step up and make a difference. We have yet to see it through 3 months of the season.
Steve from Drumheller said, I didn't mind the Oilers on Saturday. Regula with an error. Yeah,
that's a pretty ugly one.
As Lomberg said after pizza. And then WTF is Frederick. Heard his name once, an all-night in physical game. Well, he only played 7 minutes. And that's obviously an indication of how he played in a physical game, though. I'm with you. Like, that's a guy you'd think would have a little bit more of an impact. And then also Max Jones, who we think can play that game, but also played 736, by far the lowest of any Oilers forwards. So that's, he was mostly on the bench. If you're wondering where he was, that's probably the big reason. But said, hey, guys, I just don't think the Oilers players can match the Flames' intensity, roughness, toughness type. Yeah, in a game like that, Duke, and tell me I'm wrong. The longer that game goes as a 1-goal game, I feel like the less it plays into the Oilers' hands. Like once they get a 2-3 goal lead, it's over. Like they're just going to run away with it and probably pot a few more. But you keep the Flames in it, and they can keep that intensity going.
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like the Oilers got to kind of find a way to dig deep and find a way to get the win. We saw it previously when they met, and that's obviously kind of a obvious statement. They have 3 goals, are probably going to win. Yeah. When they pull away, that's when you're taking away, I think, that any chance the Flames have.
And that can be a little more universal too, to not just the Oilers or not even just hockey. Like we saw it earlier that night, if you're watching Canada and Latvia at the World Juniors, right? The longer that game goes with Canada leading by just a goal, doubt starts to creep in a little bit, right? And the Latvians, this is their gold medal game to try for a second year consecutive on the same day to upset the tournament favorites in the fashion that they did, obviously in the shootout last year, and now down a goal, they tie it. They force overtime. Credit to Team Canada for kind of gutting it down and taking care of business on the power play, fresh into overtime, but you still give up a point in the standings, which could come to matter for how you cross over in the quarterfinals. But like if it's a football team where you're clearly outmatched, like the longer you hang around in a game, the more doubt creeps in for the higher or favorited opponent, and the more you get bolstered a little bit in your own mentality of saying, like, we're in this, like, we just need one bounce, like we're right there. And that's kind of like said, the Flames against the Oilers, this isn't some David Goliath type matchup. It's a December hockey game between two teams playing in the same league. But with that being said, based on Tuesday's result, two clearly different teams at this stage of their competitive balance.
Yeah. And like the game goes on, you're like you said, one goal game. It's tight. There's belief growing. So doubt on one side, maybe belief on the other. And, give the Flames credit. They got the job done.
That is true. You got to give them credit.
Not Fred says third and fourth line players on the Oilers shouldn't be taking any nights off, especially when Klapka was running around dictating that game. Perfect time for a physical response and nothing from anyone except Nurse. And then we even had where was the follow-up from Mike said Frederick was supposed to replace Kane. Plus, he takes so many bad penalties. Yeah, I mean, I think it's so tough to replace Evander Kane. Like he was, to do that night in, night out and be that guy.
Because that role, it was one that Kane, and he has like his whole career, he relishes, right?
Mm-hmm.
He likes to be the bad guy, to get under the opponent's skin. Same can be said for Corey Perry. Like other players, and you hear a lot of enforcers talk about this, maybe from a little bit of a previous era when they were a little more prevalent and common, but they talk about like, I didn't like waking up in the morning knowing I probably had to try and fight the other team's toughest guy in that game that evening.
That's right.
It's like, but a lot of players will do it knowing that is their role. They don't love it. They don't enjoy it, but they do it because it's their job. Now for Trent Frederick, and we've talked about this a lot, going back to his time in Boston, like when he's breaking into the league, that's what he's like, I need to carve out a role. This is a part of that, to be an agitator, to play more physical. But then at a certain point, it's like, okay, I'm a first round pick. I have offensive touch, score 16 and 17 goals in back-to-back years. Do you lose that element a little bit and all of a sudden find it that much harder to get back into it when it's not something that you relish doing, like a guy like Kane, like a guy like Perry does?
Mm-hmm. And again, reached out to Boston, asked a beat reporter thoughts on him and his toughness. They told me he declined his last 2 years in Boston. So just one person's opinion.
And listen, did that come in tandem with him scoring 16 and 17 goals? Yeah, it did. But now, unfortunately, here in Edmonton in the year 2025, essentially since he was acquired by the team, with very few exceptions, he does not have a role. He does not do anything.
I'm with you.
He doesn't score. He doesn't intimidate. He doesn't agitate. He just eats minutes.
Before we get to break quickly, Michelle says, Battle of Alberta or not, the Oilers had not a lot of spunk on Saturday. It's still Hockey Night in Canada just after Christmas, and they still need points to stay ahead in the Pacific. I know it's December, but they haven't strung together a streak of wins like last year, so wins are needed to get into the playoffs. It is frustrating to see them not have push, and yes, the bottom six not helping. Yeah, for sure. Like, the statistic still has to be there. They haven't won 3 games yet, right?
Correct.
To be where in the position they are without winning at least 3 games in a row is absolutely crazy. Like, you know, we always say it, it's going to come. It's going to come. But it's got to come sooner than later. And last text goes to Rod. He says, I can't stand when you let someone in, they don't thank you. I thank everyone. It's sad. I'm probably on the side of Rod on this one. Even if it's like, should I wave? Maybe not, but thank you.
Even if I think it, like if I'm the one getting quote unquote let in, even if it's a standard traffic move, like it's not necessarily a courtesy they're doing me, but I just like, if I got my signal on for a merge or a lane change and I notice them, back up, give a little more space, tap the brakes, I'll still give the courtesy wave.
Yeah.
I'm about that. I respect the road. We're living in a society.
We have to.
Gotta
be, or else, we're just like the jungle. Take a break. When we come back, more of your text, 1-833-401-1440. It's Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440, streaming on YouTube, Facebook, X, Instagram, and Twitch. Brought to you by Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
At GS Construction, we focus on building a culture of collaboration, innovation, and respect. Our teams work together, supporting one another and striving towards shared goals. We're committed to creating a work environment that empowers individuals, values teamwork, and ensures everyone feels respected and safe. With decades of experience in the field, GS Construction prioritizes our people, our culture, and safety. This is what makes us unique. To find out more, go to gsconstruction.ca.
What a performance by Action Electrical today. Their projects team kicked things off, designing and building with unmatched skill.
Then the service team swoops in for those crucial repairs and maintenance. And don't forget the testing team, ensuring everything's safe and sound before the solar team scores with sustainable energy.
A complete team effort. Have Action Electrical bring home a win for you and your project. Visit actionelectrical.net.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
When picking a New Year's resolution, try to avoid things you have no influence over.
Like bringing home the cup? That would be awesome.
But completely outside your control. Instead, pick something you can control, like bringing home some Will Hawk Beef Jerky.
That would also be awesome. But what if we brought the cup home to Canada and it was filled with Will Hawk Beef Jerky?
Okay, I'll allow it.
Will Hawk Beef Jerky, only available in Leduc. Get yours today, because you don't win cups with salad.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. With special guests Haley Benedict and Morgan Clyburn. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. Hosted by Chris Sheets. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
At Fountain Tire, success is a team effort. They're committed to their team members and their customers. And that means treating your vehicle like it's their own and finding solutions that suit your needs. Because whatever the road brings ahead, they're on it with you. Visit fountaintire.com today.
Do you listen to sports radio at work? Like right now? Well, do you? Who, me? No way. I swear. Okay, friend, we won't tell. Tens of thousands of sports fans listen to Sports 1440 each and every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. If you listen to Sports 1440 at work, well, maybe it's time to advertise on Sports 1440 at work. Grow your business. Get your name out there. Shoot our ad team an email. Gregor@sports1440.ca. Let's get to work for you.
Get the inside scoop for your team on Fantasy Frenzy with Halley and Douglas on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky.
$11:44. Welcome back to Fantasy Frenzy here on Sports 1440. Connor Halley, Brandon Douglas, Josh Fenwick with you here. Text lines 1-833-401-1440, and the show is brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky, online at wilhaukbeefjerky.com. I'll let you know what's coming up on the Lowdown with Low Tide today. I think Rachel Krychuk will be by, and then Jason Greger. Anyone from Winnipeg? Nobody from Winnipeg. Okay. So that's coming up from noon to 2 on the Lowdown with Low Tide. Then on the Jason Greger show, we will go out to Winnipeg. We'll talk to Jamie Thomas. Good old JT at 2:20. We'll have Kevin Woodley from In Goal Magazine back from his vacation. We'll hear Cam Tate's 2-minute warning spec, and then we got pregame from 4:30 till puck drop with Andrew Walker, Landon Ferraro, and more. And then at the end of the show, I think it might be me and Declan wrapping things up. So we'll probably look ahead to the Monday nighter with the Falcons and the Rams, where I'm just hoping that Puka Nacua does not go absolutely crazy.
You and Kevin Carius.
Like, he can, a touchdown, $150, all good.
Carius, what was it, Josh? Carius is up by 40 points.
Oh,
has Kyron Williams, but is against Nacua and Stafford.
Ooh, that's a good stack for his opposition.
The chef.
40 points though. PPR?
Yeah.
Okay.
And 6 points for a touchdown pass.
Ooh, really?
Yeah. So it's like Kevin essentially is just hoping that it's all Blake Corum and Kyron Williams on the goal lines. And, Stafford and Nacua can rack up their yardages, but without finding some pay dirt. And I think he's got a shot. But a 40-point lead, that's a pretty good cushion.
Yeah. You're feeling comfortable at that point.
But still nervous because, Stafford and Nacua have arguably been the best quarterback receiver combo this season.
In the Fantasy Frenzy League final, we've got Aaron taking on the Defenders. Now, the Defenders trailing by 45 points, but have Puka Nacua and Bijan Robinson. Aaron has nobody. So, another person cheering for not a very good, an okay game. Just can't go crazy. 40 points. Can't be having that tonight from Puka Nacua. And we got to trust that Falcons defense to try and get the job done. But congratulations to those two. Once it is all settled, we'll make sure we get you your prize. I think it was $350 for our league. Nice.
I noticed. I actually realized I totally forgot because we never really talked about this. Quite a few weeks ago now, we finally had the winner for our Survivor pool.
Oh, sweet!
And it went very deep this year. Josh, you were in it up until the second last week. I think they went 1v1 for a week or two after you were eliminated.
I was in it until I want to say week 12. Whenever the Rams dropped that game to the Panthers, and then it went on for one more week after that. Yeah.
Oh well,
I was so close.
And the winner was, I just want to make sure I get his name right. Steve.
Congratulations.
Steve was the winner.
Did you pay him?
I did, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
I'm a naturally forgetful person, but thankfully he kept reminding me. So I did. He's paid out. It was $250. We had 50 entries, $10 ahead. So the math works out there. And obviously the other $250 had went to
Operation Friendship.
October. Yeah. Friendship Society.
So Aaron went 7-7 on the year, and now he's poised to win.
That's crazy.
He texted in and said, I tried to listen to Fantasy Experts for once. Also says Brock Bowers quit on me, as did Rashee Rice. So, yeah, you went through a little adversity, but you're in a good position, I would say. Playbook Vic said, thanks for the fantasy season. A lot of fun. Can't wait for next season. Have a happy new year, everyone. Same to you. There's something else I was going to get to here. Oh, my buddy DeLuca texted in. He said, he was asking, is it cool if you're up in a week and then Monday night, say you're up by 3, to bench your defense? Or do you think you have to have a full roster?
No, I think that is strategy.
I'm with you. If the league allows it, then
that is tough because you are not technically icing a roster. But what kind of defense are you trotting out there at this stage of the season where you think putting up -3 points is a realistic possibility?
Well, he's got the Rams defense.
Yeah.
So
although they did end up put up negative points last week against the Seahawks.
Probably. It was a huge game.
Yeah, it is more complicated than it seems because like I know some leagues it's like either written or unwritten rules, like you have to ice a full roster. Like can't tank, can't quit. And if you don't, then the commissioner is granted authority to set your lineup for you. But in like that, the defense, I think defense or kickers complicate things, which is why I'm in a league that doesn't. I'm in no leagues that have kickers, and only one of my leagues has defenses.
Yeah,
tough. That's a tough one. I would say it's fair game because that's strategic. But I don't know if the same can be said for a player. Like you need a player in every slot.
I will say, like, just on the topic of kickers, in my final, he had Aubrey, 17 points as a kicker. I think that's his highest scoring player.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if we had no kickers, I'd be up another 7 points because my kicker put up 10. So he
Was
got
it
me.
Dicker?
No, Dicker was not great.
He had a rough day on Saturday.
Pro Bowl got to his head.
I said that to you. I was like, he's got too pompous with after he put all that time into creating these fun videos, and they are funny. Do not get me wrong. The conspiracy one this year was hilarious, but then he gets the recognition. He's a Pro Bowler. Goes to his head. He doesn't show up for work on Saturday.
It's not good.
He was there in body, but not in mind or spirit.
He's got to bounce back. Kyle in a focus says, I have a 22-point lead with Bijan and London. Questionable status. I left Turpin, Stevenson, and Watson on the bench, hoping for London to be healthy.
The Stevenson one hurts.
Now, do you have Mooney on your bench, maybe, just in case? And like, who does the opposition have? If you've got everybody else, you're golden. But with Bijan and London. Hunter says, down by 3 going into tonight. I have Robinson to play, but it's only for third. Winner gets their money back. Loser gets the one better pick in our live classic redraft with no snake. What would you do? One better pick? No snake? Ooh. What's the buy-in? Do you need the money? If you don't need the money, I think I'd rather just get the better draft pick.
But like
$40.
$40 buy-in, that's probably not worth it. Like $40.
Yeah. You can spin it either way that you're happy.
That is like, is this a full redraft and you don't? Yeah, live classics redraft, no snake.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy. Like our dynasty, like our rookie draft is not a snake, but that kind of tracks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Even our keeper league is a snake.
I like the snake draft. A little more strategy.
Where would you rather pick, first or 12th? Those are the only two
Probably
choices
first,
I give you.
I think.
You think so?
Well, because then I get, well, it's a long way
then
back.
You pick so long until, but then it's the same thing after you get 2 picks back to back to kick off if you're 12.
Yeah.
But then it's the same time between selections.
So you might as well try to get that home run pick.
Might as well, yeah, but
depends on the year.
I was going to say, how often do we say first overall consensus pick this year was a bust?
I in our league this year, because we went golfing and we just take the scores from the par threes and we try to make it a little more like balanced.
Right.
Best score gets first pick. I actually had the best score. I took 3 because I was confident I would get Bijan or Jahmyr Gibbs, and I was happy with those guys at that spot.
Did you?
I got Gibbs. Gibbs got me to the number 1 seed.
Yeah, he really let us down in the playoff stretch of this season as a fantasy owner.
Yeah. Here's something for you. In the Fantasy Frenzy League, nobody put up more points in the championship weekend than us, Duke. We were built for the final. Unfortunately, it was the 7th place final, not the 1st place final.
Well, I was kind of looking at that in both of my leagues, seeing if my 3rd place game, I was like, what have I won if I just got through last week? And the answer to that is no. I'm not even, like I said, I have about just under a 50% chance to win my 3rd place matchup. But how about this? So I'm like, I can feel pretty confident. This guy's up by 100 points. That's going to win our dynasty league. This is his team, or at least his starting roster this week. Brock Purdy, Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey, Puka Nacua, Michael Pittman, Wan'Dale Robinson, who had a big week, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Hunter Henry, and Ramondre Stevenson in his flex.
Not a bad week.
So this is
still got Puka to go.
This is a dynasty. Yeah, he's got 186 points with still the best wide receiver in fantasy to play. Yeah, shout out Cherub, aka Kyle Ringdahl.
And how many of these will he keep?
All this is dynasty.
Oh,
he will keep the whole team.
I
believe he won. I don't know if he's back-to-back champ or no. Bryce won last year, but I think Kyle has won in one of the other previous years. Derrick Henry coming back in a big way this season was huge for him.
Yeah, huge game over the weekend.
Yeah, McCaffrey's health obviously a big factor as well, but
Niners,
it's a really good team.
Niners Bears last night was unbelievable.
What a thriller!
Bad. DeAndre Swift, shout out to you. That last drive when they kicked the field goal instead, but they went back to Manungai. Why like I get what you're doing, but DeAndre Swift was running the ball so well.
Yeah, Ben Johnson's been very like since Manungai's got a foothold as the second back. They pretty like they're committed to using both of them in a pretty balanced. Even though DeAndre Swift is like he's having himself a really good year, probably his best year overall as a pro. And like this is a guy that was a top or first round pick under Ben Johnson previously. There was a lot of question marks about how he'd work out in a second chance with this offensive scheme, and it's been a home run.
100%. Yeah, I mean, who's to say? I mean, they got the field goal still, but the way Swift was running the ball, the one long touchdown he had, I think like two guys missed in the backfield.
Yeah,
at that point it was a smooth sailing for him. And you're right, cracked 1,000 yards, has one more game. Pretty good little season for him. 9 touchdowns on the year. No one's touching Jonathan Taylor though. Well, Derrick Henry might catch him with another big game. We'll have to see.
And the Ravens, obviously, with a lot to play for, the Colts don't.
Ravens,
do we see a lot of Abdullah in the Colts finale? And more importantly, do we see Riley Leonard?
Who cares?
I hope so.
Steelers, Ravens, Sunday nighter. That's going to be a sick one. I think Rivers can catch someone on the all-time passing yards leader, so maybe they'll let him go for that.
By what? Throwing out another 120-yard game?
130, he would get it.
Okay, well that might be his average here through 3 games, I think.
Hey, that would get it. That chasing the charts. Let's get to a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Wilhauk Beef Jerky, home of Alberta's best beef jerky. Online, wilhaukbeefjerky.com.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
It is game day for the Edmonton Oilers. They take on the Jets from Winnipeg. This one only available to view on Amazon Prime Video. Puck drop coming at 5:30. Pre-game coverage starting right here on Sports 1440 at 4:30. 10 of the games around the NHL, including the Jackets in our nation's capital to play the Senators. Washington playing Florida. Canes host the Rangers. Red Hot Sabres are in St. Louis. Down the highway, the Flames welcome in at Boston. And the Nightcap has the Kraken taking on their cross-border rival, Vancouver Canucks. Team Canada back in action at the World Juniors from Minnesota. They will play Denmark at 6:30 tonight. Other games on today's slate: Sweden and Germany underway already, tied at 1-1. Czechia and Finland play at 1:30, and U.S.-Slovakia go at it at 4. Spengler Cup from Switzerland. Canada lost earlier this morning in quarterfinal action to HC Sparta Prague. 5-1 the final. Week 17 in the NFL wrapping tonight from Atlanta with the Falcons hosting the Rams. Kickoff at 6:15. And in the association, the Raptors finishing off a back-to-back when they play Orlando. Tip-off at 5:30 from Scotiabank Arena. And 10 other games around the NBA, including Denver and Miami. Pelicans host the Knicks. Cavs play the Spurs. And the Thunder welcome in the Hawks. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is the Lowdown with Low Tide. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.